Ready to go for the third quarter at AIS Arena in Canberra. 45-40. The Jack Jumpers lead the Cairns Taipans. Been an entertaining second quarter. The first quarter where both teams really struggled to knock down their shots. Things really got going. David Johnson travels.
It was a nice and strong performance by the Jack Jumpers in that first half. They got porous, though, in that second quarter defensively, giving up 33 as the Taipans ran off 9 3-balls.
Always nice here at the Blitz to be able to talk to all of the teams and get an idea of how things have come together, but how it's also shaping up for NBL 26 as well. And when we go to the Taipans, we go straight to the top. We go to the number one man, the CEO, Mark Beecroft, who joins us in commentary here at the Blitz. Mark, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me on.
It's a fair roster you've assembled for this year.
I've been working hard. Others said we were asleep at the wheel, Derek, didn't they?
No. That was my sidekick, Damon Lowry.
I know who it was. Shout out to Damon. I've just woken up.
I always love when we're able to get the big men in while their team is playing. And when you look at this lineup, Mark, once you get, as Magne lets one rip, once you get the full roster out there, and given the home court advantage you guys always have, you must really feel like this is potentially a top 4 team.
We'd like to think so. Obviously, the recruitment started before the season ended last year, so it's been a long off season. We were patient. We needed some things to go our way, and thank the fans and the support and our commercial partners in being patient with us in being able to do what we did. But it was late, very late compared to what we normally are.
Did that have anything to do, or how much did it have to do with what was happening with the ownership?
Well, it was happening at the same time and at different speeds. Obviously, we know we can cookie cutter and run a good business model in basketball. We finished last year. We needed to do things differently. It was a really tough year. Our season was almost done before Christmas with the number of injuries. At the Blitz last year, we had no point guard. Ironically, we're down a point guard here this year. So we needed to be different. And the ownership piece, we haven't changed ownership, but everything looks like we have. And it was certainly the work we were doing to be able to build revenue, to be able to put this together. And we thank our partners, particularly with Ken Frost and John Richardson, enabling us to help put this together and where we are right now.
So is it the best roster on paper that the Cairns Taipans have ever had?
I saw this earlier.
Geez, you don't miss much.
Very difficult.
One of the best receipt keepers you'll ever meet, Mark Beecroft.
Have you met Money Mike, Scott? He's even better than me.
Magne with the jam. Challenged at the rim by Wardenberg.
To answer your question, there's been a lot of good Taipans teams.
Yes.
It'd be remiss if I, like over the years, and you think back, we've had great teams over the years. Scotty Wilbekin and Torrey Craig in 14-15 was an amazing team with an amazing year. But in terms of the build, and certainly what we've been trying to do this off-season with 40, and keep in mind, we thought we were recruiting a new coach.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. That's a fascinating one in itself. That, I mean, we started to get some wind and some talk that there was a chance that Adam Ford could come back as coach. And we were, at first, when everyone heard it, we were like, how does this work? So trying to help all of the fans understand the process of when things started to become legitimate for 40 to come back.
Yeah, well, he's terrible at goodbyes, so as are we. And he went with our blessing, and we, like a lot of players and coaches that have come through our program, we want them to go on to bigger and better things, and that was certainly after the tough year we had. It took its toll on Adam, took a toll on his family, and he really wanted to explore this opportunity that had been presented overseas, and he went with our blessing. We wanted to keep him connected to the club, and that was really important. We get along really well. We've been able to build some really good things, and so we started to have this narrative and conversation about what that looked like in staying connected with us, and at the same time we were making change around how we're going to really bring to bout the conversation that has been happening for a long time around ownership and money. And then we start talking to players.
Statman knocks down another 3.
We start talking about players, and I said, give me your opinion on this player, and give me your opinion on this player. And he said, are you really talking to them? And we're like, hey, what's your timeline? He says, well, my timeline's down the track. And we go, okay, you're out of the mix. We were interviewing. We were down the line with 3 coaches we really liked. And when it really rubber hit the road on the conversation about players we really were going to recruit, he said, oh, it's like that.
Right.
Is there a chance of me coming back? Wow. I said, jump in the car, let's go around to Cairns City and see Troy Stone. And we had a meeting out in Troy's workshop. He's covered in 2-stroke. And Forty said, I want back in. And that's how it went down.
That's fascinating because, Derek, I don't think we've seen a situation like that.
Well, I've seen situations like that in real life with ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, of course you have. Yeah.
You see them 2 weeks later and they look a little bit better. You're like, I might want to go back there.
McVeigh pulls up. And then the other piece, just as he knocks this down, Mark, is Jack McVeigh. So you're out there in the market. You're always going to be shopping for imports. Everyone's shopping for imports. But Jack McVeigh became available and had a raft of options here and abroad to choose from. He chose the Cairns Taipans. How big of a moment was that for you, and I guess in this new era of the Cairns Taipans, that he chose you?
Yeah, look, and to understand what Jack was in at the time, he was really clear in that he wanted to play in the NBA. And we didn't want to be a team that put pressure on that. You have to allow that to happen and that time to develop and let him explore that to the very end. And he did that. It was, what if it wasn't the NBA and what were the other options? And NBL wasn't number 2.
Yeah.
So really in our discussions was around what it looked like for the club and how that would work for him. And then obviously the 40 piece and the timing around all that and what that looked like with him, and then connecting them in a conversation, I think is where it really started to get traction. But he had NBA outdates.
Yeah.
And we had to wait. And what that meant for us is we held positions on either side. We're in conversation. We had a lot of conversations with players on either side that we couldn't commit to. And we wanted to wait because if Jack goes to the NBA, we fill that spot with an import. If Jack is a real option and we wait for that to happen, along with Rain, who had Summer League.
Yes. Yep.
So they were 2 critical pieces in allowing that time for the development of Summer League to occur, and then us finalising or really getting the opportunity to get deeper into what it can look like.
And I'm sure you've heard me allude to the fact that I feel the match of Adam Ford to the Cairns Taipans is one of the best fits in terms of what your franchise is about, and also the ties and the links to the community. How much of that aspect goes into your thought process when you're recruiting players?
There's a lot of work that goes into it, and I think I've said all along, like 40 left really off the back of a really tough year. But in coming back, he's fit to the organisation, fit to the club and fit to the community. It works really well. We work well together. We work well as essentially an executive with the way we make decisions and how we build things out, and he's really detailed and he presents it in a manner that I understand. Yeah. And that makes it easy for me.
So we were talking about this in the first quarter. Now that you've got some more finances available to recruit in the way that you have, and you've got Adam Ford back, does that put pressure on the organisation now to be more successful on the court, do you think, or not?
I think the narrative to us for us, 240, was what we do this year will be different to what we have done, and we want to win.
Yep.
And we're going to tool this up in order for you to have a roster that can. Now, we think every year and up until now that we've been able to win.
There's your boy just knocking down a 3. Hopefully you see a lot of that this season.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've always felt we can win. We've had very narrow margins of error. And so we have to get a lot of things right to have that chance to play off or play in. And it was really about giving him then the tools. And we're starting to see glimpses of what we hope it will look like for the year.
You just see you smiling as you're sitting here watching this all coming together too, which is great.
Only because I'm up this close. I normally sit up the back of the stadium.
There's Adnam.
Wow.
Everyone getting in on the act now. Taipans back within 1.
Well, they started off 0 of 9 from the 3, and now they've gone 12 of 18 from the 3 to get back to within 1 point of the jack jump. It's been an outstanding performance from the Taipans in quarters 2 and 3. And now they've got Tasmania a little bit disjointed on the offensive end. Nice finish with the left hand. Hamilton.
It's 15 points now for Bryce Hamilton. The off-season as a whole, Mark, we had Tim Morrissey in from, obviously spent a long time in this league, and now with Code Sports. We said that, and you guys were a major part of it, how crazy the off-season was and how many moves were going on. Every time you picked up your phone, there was a signing or a rumor. It was a wild 3 or 4 months.
It was fantastic.
Mark, you've been around the league for decades. I'm not sure we had this many blue chip signings in an offseason in NBL history.
No, it was fantastic. It really was. And watching what was happening with other clubs and not being able to really talk about what our plans were. We wore some criticism, obviously, around all of that, but now you know why. It was really about the waiting and working on the commerciality of being able to do what we really had a vision to set about doing. I think the way it's come together, we're really pleased. I think it looks like the vision that we set about. Now it's over to 40 to bring all that together.
No pressure, 40.
Right.
He loves it.
He does.
I can't imagine what the convention center is going to be like up there with this roster. There just must be a buzz in the city of Cairns.
There's certainly a great energy around it. And you have a think about our season last year where we did finish last, but our crowd numbers went up. We averaged 4,300 people to a game at the convention center. And how cool is it going to be this year with what we're seeing a glimpse of now? Park the first quarter, but...
yeah, don't shoot like that at home in the like you did in the first quarter, Mark.
No, not at all.
Now that we've got you on air, it's kind of our own little show here. Me, you. You got anything you want to say about Damon Lowry since you're here?
I love playing against Damon. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, Dame, how are you, buddy?
I haven't screenshotted or recorded his comments about us at all.
And if you believe that, you believe anything. 3 minutes 26 left. And McVeigh, little pull up.
He's got so many more ways now to get his shot off.
Tell us a little bit about Admiral Schofield,
Ooh.
Mark. That's a nice step back from Johnson. Derek and I were talking about his resume earlier and what he's done in the game already, but what's he like as a human being? Because I know that's such a big thing for you guys, is to get the right person as well. On cue.
Well, when you make threes, that makes you a really good person.
He's firstly a great person, a really good dude, and already within a game, like this is his first game, but our first preseason game up at home is already showing leadership and feedback across the group and really engaged, and I think that comes with the experience at level he's been at. I think that's super encouraging for the group. What's interesting is his agency and group is represented by, and the connection was through DJ Hogue.
Right.
And his success here in the NBL and how well he did with us, and a shout out to George and Jason who helped us put it all together. But it was off the back of that success that DJ had with our club that they really wanted to be able to place another player here and see if we can do the same or similar.
Well, he's got 18 points in 18 minutes. And this is a guy who has outstanding pedigree. As we mentioned in the first half, played in the NBA, really good career, an outstanding final year at Tennessee, which he excelled.
Mark, we said that we'd keep you for a couple of minutes. We've kept you for most of the quarter, but thought it was really important that Taipans fans heard everything that's played out in the off-season and how it all came together. So congratulations for you and your organisation. It's a big step forward, and we wish you all the best for this season.
Thanks very much.
Mark Beecroft, the CEO of the Cairns Taipans, joining us in commentary. Derek, just hearing that as a first-hand account of everything that happened and how it happened, I found that fascinating.
Yeah, it's good to hear the real story, because so often as analysts, you know, there is a percentage of speculation in what we do and trying to read the tea leaves and figure out what's going on between the lines. As Schofield goes to work and leaves there to clean it up. But I love just the black and white and getting the real deal like we got there from Mark Beecroft, and just a fascinating series of events that has led to the construction of this very promising Taipans roster.